Actually, she's seen you, Ruby. I'm sorry, Sandra. All right, cool. All right, it looks like we are recording then, so the others can watch. So I just wanted to say, way to go. Be proud of yourself for making the choice to invest in your business and commit to this challenge and whatnot. It's going to be fun. Might be kind of crazy, but it'll be fun, and I'm excited to see what happens in our businesses. Did everybody get the Healthy Business Workbook printed out? Yes. I see some people nodding and waving their hands.
Bethany, can you remind everybody where to find it? I guess I'm not exactly sure where to find it myself. That's terrible. As a leader, I don't have it printed out, but I plan to. I'm not sure where to find it.
I had put, oh wait, you know what? I put those instructions in our private team chat. That's why. Okay, so yes, you find it. I just had to go retrieve mine out of my traveling bag. But you will find it in your back office if you go to Training Center and then Resource Library, and then under the Send, Share, Invite system. So that's why we wanted to. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to hop in there. So if you're finding it on your iPad or your phone, that's where it'll be. But if you're on a computer, it's not going to be in the sharing system. It'll be in the Start Here, Start Now, or Start Now folder in the very bottom right-hand corner.
Thank you. I think that was Claire. Thank you for hearing that, Claire.
Yeah.
So yes, if you're in your resource library, let's see here. You know what? They moved it even on the iPad. It had been in the sharing system, but now it's in Start Here, Start Now. So I'm going to show you my screen if you can see it. That way, if you don't have it, you guys go on and get it right now if you can. I'm going to walk you through this. Okay, so I'm in my virtual. Man, this is confusing. Here, I know what I'll do. I'll flip the camera. Okay, sorry, you just saw my dirty laundry on the floor. So if you don't have it printed out, go get it right. Go on your computer or your phone and get it right now, or at least find it so that you know where it is. So when you're in your back office, here's your back office, right? Up here in the top left-hand corner is the menu. You're going to click there and go down to Training Center. Training Center, Resource Library, and then Start Here, Start Now. And then it's going to be all the way down here in this bottom right-hand corner. So that's the Healthy Business Workbook. You're going to click on that. And you're going to need that because that's what we're basing our 90-day challenge off of, because as you can see, it's a 90-day action tracker. And so just print the whole thing off, and that's what we're going to be filling out. Yes. So first things first, and I told my team all this, and I think I told the other team leaders this as well, to go ahead, print it out, and then fill in this leads you didn't know you have. Just start writing names in here. Because again, this is what we're going to be basing our work off of for the next 90 days. So if you can get the names filled in, that's gonna be a huge part of your work right there. It'll just free up your mind later on when you come to do your daily work, because you'll have the names already listed. So print this thing off and fill out the names you didn't have. There's like pages and pages of it. You're going to need to fill up the whole thing. Preferably with people that you haven't really talked to about Plexus yet, or people that maybe said not right now. And then any of you other leaders that have things you want to add or put in here, go ahead, and I know you can unmute yourselves and hop in here. Or if anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask them. But then what we're going to be doing every day. So I have mine printed out here. What we're going to be doing every day is this daily income producing activities. And as you can see here, they have it all scheduled out for us, which is so nice. It's going to make it so simple and easy to just follow along and be like, okay, check, 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 check. Got that. You know what? I'm going to go back where I have the totals written down. Because does anybody else feel like they waste time because they're just like, okay, what do I do? Who do I send things to? Blah, blah, blah. Or you lose track of who you sent what to, things like that. So here in the daily income producing activities, this is where we're going to be basing our work. Like I said, there's 14 weeks worth of these pages. It's 14 of these pages, they're 1 week. And they're Monday through Friday. So if you miss a day, you can make it up on Saturday, or you can do 2 days on Friday or whatever. So it's really nice. We're just going to be keeping track of our weekly totals for the purpose of this accountability challenge. And then we wrote some accountability goal minimums. My mom and I personally are going to be trying to fill in as many of these circles as we can. As you can see, that's a lot of them. So this is 9 people a day, and this is 10 people a day, and this is 9 people and 6 people and 6 people. And we're going to be doing as many of those as you can, but let's all shoot for a minimum of 10 a week in the asks category, and 10 a week in the send category, and 10 a week in the share category, and then 5 in the invite category, and the 5 in the make new contacts category. So
Bethany.
What? Yes.
It would be good for everybody to write that down somewhere so that everybody knows what the minimum is.
That's a good idea.
That way, you know what your minimum goal is, and for those that aren't going to be consistent, then they're not going to be in the group. Kind of
Okay, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Like if they don't want to, if for whatever reason you find that you're not doing the work, we can just take you out of the group, and that way you don't have to try to keep up with all the chatter, which we are going to be trying to keep the chatter to a minimum in the messenger chat, which is kind of hard because I'm like, definitely encourage each other and things like that, but at the same time we all know how it gets when a messenger chat like that gets too long and people are just talking back and forth, things like that. Let's try to keep it to a minimum so that it's not overbearing. So I wanted to go ahead and explain the different categories here, at least if that would be helpful to anybody. Raise your hand if that would be helpful. I can see some of you. So I'll go ahead and explain this. And when you're in your back office, you can watch it right there too, for that matter. They have, in the sharing system, they have a video on the sharing system training, things like that. They have sharing system verbiage, which is like ideas of what to say. The scripts workbook, more ideas of what to say. So those things, you can go watch those yourself or check them out yourself, and that will help you as well. But the asks category, this is going to be asking somebody who may or may not have approached you about Plexus, but asking them if you can send them a video or some information, asking them if they've ever considered Plexus and if they'd be open to hearing something about it. So there's scripts for that in the back office and whatnot, like I said, that you can use if you want ideas on how to start that conversation. But this is ask, because I'm so thankful that Plexus really encourages us to be respectful of people and not to share when they don't want to hear it. So this is the ask category, and that's one reason there's so many people in that category, is because as you're going to get a lot of no's. They say it takes an average of 5 or 6 no's to get a yes. So don't be discouraged if you get a lot of no's or just plain a lot of no answers. If I don't get an answer, what I personally do is I go back a couple days later and I just say, hey, if you're not interested, that's totally fine. I saw that you didn't get a chance to reply to my message. If you're not interested, totally cool, no big deal. I just wanted to check back with you. And that gives them a chance to say no if they were really wanting to say no, but they were just kind of felt bad or whatever. Or oftentimes what ends up happening is people are like, oh, I'm sorry, I meant to answer you and I just never got around to it. And then sometimes they say no, sometimes they say yes. So that's how I circle back around if they just do not answer. But that is the ask category. So you're going to be getting a minimum of 2 a day in that category, 10 a week. And then if they say yes, you'll send them a video from the back office, from YouTube. It's up to you. Plexus recommends that we send the ones in the back office. And those can be found right here in the same place in your back office. Hang on, I've got a glare. So there's this start here, start now. There's the sharing system. Then there's send, which is step 1. And then they have all these videos here that you can send. So there's product videos, there's the opportunity videos, the ambassador stories, things like that. So there's quite a few different videos that you can send there for step 1. So that is send here. That's your step 1 after you get a yes when you ask them. So you'll send videos, and you might notice it says, okay, to send 5 to 10 videos a day, but only 9 asks. Like, how is that going to work? Because you're going to get a bunch of no's, right? I'll explain that later, how that's going to work. Share. After they've watched the video, you're going to ask them something along the lines of, hey, what did you like best about that video? Or what did you relate to in that video? Ask a question. Again, those scripts are in the back office if you want scripts to follow. And they'll say, oh, I really liked how much energy it seemed to help, them with energy. So then you're going to share a personal story with them. Either your story or another ambassador's. And you're going to try to gear around what they said they liked, or what if you already know what they struggle with, then gear it around that. But whatever they said they liked is usually a pretty good indication of where their interest lies. And so that's why you're going to share a personal story with them that is centered around where their interest lies. So if you know they have lupus, but they say, oh, I really liked how much energy they have, then go with the energy. And, if it has something about lupus, great, but go with what they say, because we would need to make it about them and about what's important to them. And sometimes it's not the same things that we think would be important. So that is your share box. Share a personal story of some sort. And then invite. Invite is invite them to an event of some sort. That could be the Monday night video. Oh, what do you guys call those? Like the Monday night video calls that Plexus Corporate does for us. or if our team is doing something, our team is doing this 7-day challenge here in 2 weeks, a week or two, or at least Team Fire is. I'm sorry, I guess we're not all, maybe not all on Team Fire, but there's, the different teams have different things going on, and you're going to have, sample groups that are going on. You'll have maybe an opportunity call for somebody that's interested in the business. You can invite them to our gut health and happiness group. I think that's something we probably are all pretty familiar with. Things like that. So this is invite to a specific event. And you're going to aim for at least one of those a week. I personally will probably be doing quite a few more than that, because I find that events are very helpful. People love the human aspect of it. They like to see live people on there, and they tend to I tend to get more of a response after somebody's been to an event, because they're like, wow, I loved how much energy the ladies had, or most of the time what I hear is I love hearing the personal stories. That's what people will often tell me, that they like hearing the personal stories after in an event. So that is what invite is. Invite is to a specific event. It has ideas here: product, sample, sip and see, opportunity, product calls, 7-day challenges, team event, Facebook topic groups, things like that. So that's invite. Again, there's scripts for that in the back office. Facebook post. One time a day. So between doing a Facebook post once a day and making new contacts, they're figuring that shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. And that was figuring on 6 new contacts a day. So if you're only doing 1 a day for a total of 5 a week, it shouldn't even take that long. But you want to do a Facebook post a day, and just, sometimes it can be something about the product. Sometimes it can be something inspirational to encourage people, because we all need encouragement. It could be something just about your life in general, lots of different things. I think they say do 1 Plexus post for every 2 or 3 other posts. So if you do one post a day, you're going to do personal post, Plexus post, 2 personal posts, another Plexus post, etc. And then make new contacts. So what this is, some of you still have a lot of your warm market to work with. And so this you'll be doing a lot of reaching out to your warm market. And by your warm market, I mean people that you already know, your friends, your family that you've known for a long time, that you're already friends with, whatever. That's called your warm market, sorry.
Mommy,
But
Mommy,
hang on, sweetie.
Daddy threw some meat outside for the kitties, and some kitties eat it. And then
Okay.
it fell down some crack. It was
Hey, Keegan, mommy's doing a meeting, okay? Thank you. I'm sorry. Make new contacts. What was I saying? Then there's those of us that have already talked to most of our warm market, and they've either joined us or they've said no, they're not interested and they don't want us, and we're not going to keep bothering them because it's a definite no. So we are going to be making new friends all the time. I made new friends over the weekend. We were traveling on the plane. I mean, the poor lady sitting across from me had such bad restless leg syndrome that she was standing for most of the midnight flight. It was a 2.5-hour flight in the middle of the night, and she was standing most of the time because her legs were bothering her so badly. So you better believe I let her know that I might have some, or that I have some things that might be able to help her. And she was like, yes, I want to hear more about that. So I have her phone number, she has my phone number, etc. So you can make new contacts just as you go about your daily life, or you can do this on social media, which I do end up doing a lot of that, because living where I do, I don't get out a whole lot, really. I'm home with the kids a bunch, and so I make new friends through social media. So I send them a friend request, and then I have a conversation with them. I never go and just ask somebody if they're interested in, I never do an ask to somebody that I've never had a conversation with, if that makes sense. That's my personal decision. I like to have a conversation and at least know people a little bit and because I'm interested in their whole life. I'm not just interested in, oh, hey, do you want to do Plexus with me? And if not, then absolutely not. I'm never going to talk to you again. That's not, we're going to reap what we sow. And any new contact that we make, I try to get to know them. I try to find out what kind of needs there are in their life, things like that, because any kind of need that I can help meet is what I want to do, even if it has nothing to do with Plexus. If they have a business of their own, I'm going to try to think of people that I could recommend as customers, as long as I feel confident that they're a good business person, obviously. But if it's somebody that I meet and I get to know them and I think they sound like, good business people, and they need customers, because every business needs customers, I'm going to try to recommend people to them. And things like that are going to come back around to you eventually. But the point is, we want to bring value to every new contact that we meet, even if it's just some words of encouragement. It doesn't have to be something big. It can just be encouraging somebody. But as you make new contacts, I just wanted to bring that out. Build value, bring value to them. And then when you do ask them later on if you can send, or if they're open to hearing about Plexus, they're not going to get mad and resent it and feel like, oh, they just wanted to know me about Plexus. No, because you honored them and you cared about their whole life. So that's a little bit about build your brand, make new contacts. It says to go for 6 new contacts a day. We're going to have a minimum of 1 a day for 5 a week. Because like I said, I know some of you don't need to be making as many new contacts right now because you're still working. You still have lots of your warm market to work with. But you're still going to want to do some of this so that your business has longevity. Customer follow-up, I think we probably all know about that. Funny, they only have 3 a day because I'm going to be filling out all of those very easily. This is customers or new ambassadors. So definitely be following up with them as part of your daily work as well. People that you're bringing on board in the first week, you want to be talking to them pretty often. First month even, you want to be talking to them pretty regularly. So that is just a quick, I'm trying to make it quick and not ramble on too long. We have 10 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? If you have questions, go ahead and unmute yourself and fire away.
I don't have a question, but I wanted to expound on something you said about cold market, not just meeting someone. I don't know how you said it exactly, but you said you don't talk to someone on the first time about Plexus. Mm-hmm. And that is across the board a fairly good policy. However, please keep in mind, I will tell you a little example. So I own a consignment shop and I have a brand new customer. And the whole time she was in my consignment shop, she was complaining about being overweight and how she needs to lose weight. And she just rambled on and on and on the whole 45 minutes she was in my consignment shop. And she came back the second day with clothing to consign because she can't fit in her clothes. And so I didn't say anything the first time she was there because she was with a friend, but the second time she came by herself. And so I just asked her what she was doing because she said she belonged to some organization. So she told me what she was doing. And so I started a conversation with her about what her goals were and how she hopes to achieve what she wants to achieve, which in turn, eventually, because she was there for another 45 minutes, and we talked about a myriad of things, but ended up, I gave her samples of Plexus, and I just briefly shared my story and how, that we had a few things in common. And so don't ever think that you can't talk to someone in the first meeting or two about Plexus, because if you're hearing them and you have a conversation going, just say you may have something that would be the answer to what they have going on, and ask if they would be willing to look at something, or if you could send them a video. She friended me on Facebook. I didn't even think that far to friend her on Facebook. So I got a friend request, and so now we're chatting back and forth, and I gave her samples of the new product, of course, and the Slim and things. And so don't ever count that out as being part of that.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up, because yes, if it naturally comes up in conversation, you see a need, by all means meet the need. I mean, I did that with a lady on the plane. We never talked before, but it was obvious she was struggling, and I asked her if there was anything I could help with, and she was like, oh, she said my restless leg syndrome is just so bad. Anyway, so yes, that's a very, very good point, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Sandra. If they have a problem that they're obviously struggling with, go ahead and offer. When it naturally comes up in the conversation, by all means, go with it. But yes, I just meant as far as like randomly bringing it up. I wouldn't randomly bring it up until after you've had a conversation, because I think we all know that is pretty rude. But anyway, anybody else? We have about 4 minutes left here.
Hi. I don't know if you can hear me.
Go ahead. Yep.
I was camping, driving the camper home while I was listening. Trying to drop my nephew off. But is this recorded? Because I think I missed like the first few minutes. And like I said, I was driving. Dad,
yes.
turn off your mower, please. Oh, sorry. And then my dad's in the mower.
We in the chat. Yes.
So I'll be able to watch the first part later.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. All right. So does everybody? Oh,
Bethany,
sorry. Go ahead.
did you mention something about the videos that we're going to put in here just for
Yes.
motivation? What's it called?
Yeah, I'm glad
Getting our heads in the game.
So yes, twice a week, Mother and I will put some videos in the chat thread for you guys to watch, because if we're thinking negatively, we're going to come across negatively, and we're going to get more negative responses. And so we're also going to be listening to some videos on mindset and training that way, so that we can have a good mindset, a good healthy mindset as we're working on this. So there's going to be 2 a week, and they're not going to be super long for the most part. So just watch those during the week when you can make time. You can do them while you're folding laundry, whatever. And then every week we'll also do another Zoom like this to just make sure everybody's sticking with us, doing their work, and to encourage each other. And we thought we'd do a weekly prize to keep it fun. So what time of the day and week usually works best? I was thinking probably a Monday. Is there specific times that works best for everybody? You are all on the chat, so you guys get the prerequisite of being able to say. Since you were awesome and committed to being here on the chat, what's going to work best for you guys on Monday, time-wise? Mornings, afternoons, evenings?
I'd say do another poll in the chat, maybe.
That could work. Mm-hmm.
Just pick two or three different time frames and just see which ones get the most.
Okay. And I know it's not always going to be super convenient, guys, but we are committed. And that's why, even though I got home at 4:30, I'm on here. Because we are committed to doing this together.
One thing that we would like to also see is goals. Bethany, I think we talked about a little bit, but I'm not sure that we really decided. But it's really important to have a goal, write it out so you can see it every day, and work towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also, No, I'm saying like if you want to get to silver, if you want to get to gold, if you want to rank.
Okay. Gotcha.
Or maybe it's just simply doing the challenge and being consistent for 90 days. You know, maybe that's your goal. But
Yep.
we know how important it is to write it down and then to tell us what it is.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
right.
Be
It is
accountable.
write it down and either send it to your sponsor or put it in the group chat. It's up to you which you prefer. But definitely write those down. So this is week 1. How is everybody? I'm running out of time. We have my thingy's gonna time out for any minute. But I hope you're all feeling encouraged and feel like this is something you can do. If you're fuzzy on anything, get with your sponsor and ask them for the details. But I think we explained pretty well everything. So I want to let you guys go. We want to respect your time. We know we're all busy people, and we're going to be getting to work on this starting today. So is there anything anybody else wants to add in before we hop off here and get to work?
I just want to say that I have just been dreading this like the plague. And I know I shouldn't say that here, but I'm saying this because I'm being honest. But that's not the end of the story. So while I've been dreading it, I was like, okay, Lord, you know that I'm committed to this, and I know you want me to do this. And so I asked him to change, get me in the game. And this morning I'm just like feeling excited and I feel invincible. So talk to the Lord about it. He will not fail you.
Yep. And oftentimes a good encouraging video can help as well. Some sort of training video or something, just feeling like you know what you're doing a little better. But yes, definitely do. I talk to the Lord about it all the time because I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. But that's silly. That's just fear, guys. And fear is nothing but an emotion that's trying to hold us back and keep us in our old comfort zone. We learned a lot about fear this weekend. So fear is ego. Fear is putting yourself first and your comfort zone first. That's one thing that just gets me every time. Fear says, that hurts, I'm not comfortable with that, that's uncomfortable, that's out of my comfort zone. And it's like, you know what, that is ego, because it's all about you. So keep the focus on other people, and your other things will fall into place, put it that way. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, Mother.